Welcome to Old Guy Tech,
the OGT.TV recording studio.
Technology for the rest of us.
Hi, this is Rob Charney with Old Guy Tech TV, and I'm here today with Jonathan Charney for Tech Day, January 6, 2012. Is 3D TV dead? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And PayPal destroys a violin. PayPal's decision to order a customer to destroy a rare violin is reported today by a Registry.com reader named Erica. She related yesterday how she sold an old French violin that made it through World War II to a buyer in Canada for $2,500. However, the buyer disputed the authenticity of the label and demanded the money back. When the buyer contacted PayPal with his concerns, the payment processor instructed him to destroy it and refunded the purchase price. He even sent the seller a photo of the destroyed violin. Apparently, PayPal's user agreement includes a dispute resolution process for items significantly not as described that gives it a last say on items it suspects are fake. The PayPal user agreement on the website states if you lose a claim because we, in our sole discretion, reasonably believe the item you sold is counterfeit, you will be required to provide a full refund to the buyer, and you will not receive the item back. It will be destroyed. In a media statement defending the policy, PayPal said that the destruction of goods is suspected to be counterfeit is in accordance with many countries' laws. The reason we reserve the option to ask the buyer to destroy the goods is that in many countries, including the U.S., it is a criminal offense to mail counterfeit goods back to the seller. It is unknown what persuaded PayPal that the item was not a genuine article. PayPal declined to comment on that point, citing the company's privacy policy. The company is reportedly reviewing the matter. Malware making the rounds on Facebook. It has been reported that more than 45,000 users have been affected. Most of those affected by the worm, called Remnant, are from France and United Kingdom. Excuse me. According to a bulletin issued by security research at SecureLet, it is capable of infecting Windows executables, Microsoft Office, and HTML files, according to antivirus software maker McAfee. The attackers are using the stolen credentials to log into victims' Facebook accounts and to transmit malicious links to their friends, thereby magnifying the malware spread even further. In addition, cybercriminals are taking advantage of the fact that users tend to use the same password in various web-based services, such as Facebook and Gmail, to gain remote access to corporate networks. The worm was first discovered in April 2010, stealing sensitive information as stored FTP credentials and browser cookies. In August 2011, malware developers went financial. With that added strength, they were able to gain remote access to financial institutions, compromise online banking sessions, and penetrate several corporate networks. Approximately 800,000 machines were infected between September 2011 and the end of the year. SOPA update. The Internet's most popular destinations, eBay, Google, Facebook, and Twitter, seem to view Hollywood-backed copyright legislation as a threat. It was Google's co-founder, Sergey Brin, who warned that the Stop Online Piracy Act and the Protect IP Act would put us on par with the most oppressive nations in the world. Craigslist's founder, Craig Newmark, Twitter co-founders Jack Dorsey and Biz Stone, and LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman argued that the bills give the feds unacceptable power to censor the web. But these companies have yet to roll out their heavy artillery. When the homepages of Google, Amazon.com, and Facebook and their internet allies simultaneously turn black with anti-censorship warnings that ask users to contact politicians about a vote in the U.S. Congress the next day on SOPA, you will finally see that they are serious. It would be a political equivalent of a nuclear option. This is Rob Charney for Headlines Today. Let's go over to John and see what he's got. See you soon.
Basically, it was saying how it was in CES of 2010, the 3D TVs were really kind of, the popular thing. Everybody had a 3D TV. And then the next year, 2011, it became even bigger, bigger TVs, bigger 3D TVs. And basically they're saying how it seemed kind of fizzled, and everybody's really not certain how, if it's going to continue. The people mentioning how, the reason why they got so many is there's so many set makers trying to, differentiate their television models.
Yeah, and you've got these 3D TVs that some use glasses, some don't. And I think price point's another problem for them. They're so expensive. I mean, it's like buying the first plasma TVs when they first come out. $5,000 and $6,000 for a TV that will last maybe 3-4 years.
Oh, my main problem is it's like Betamax and VHS. It's like DVD and it's like HD DVD and Blu-ray. The only problem is that this is stupid. I mean, I can't see 3D to begin with generally.
Right.
So the only problem is when, half America or less can't view it, I don't see the point.
Right.
I mean, it's not like somebody knows the...
It does limit the amount of people that want to purchase the item.
Yeah, I mean, when there's technical differences between HD, DVD, and Blu-ray or Betamax and VHS, I mean, where there's actual differences where, the ones that won weren't always the better.
Right.
In Betamax's case.
Right.
But this one, I really don't see the point. I mean, because plus the fact, besides different technologies, those glasses, for the one you need the glasses, those glasses are still really expensive.
Yeah, and then with people that wear glasses, you have glasses on top of glasses.
Exactly.
And that makes it even more difficult. So it is definitely a problem.
Yeah, another problem you had is, I don't know if it... I read the article, but I don't remember it was saying that the other problem you end up having is mentioning how some of these movies are, like, converted into 3D. Like, you got Disney now, George Lucas... some of the other content creators pushing their content into 3D. So you've got, old movies or poorly made modern movies that are, converted into 3D after the fact.
Right.
Which probably makes it even worse.
Yeah, I would think so. Now, 3D does work for me in the theaters, but I really don't know how well it would work on a television home, and I don't know that I want that.
It doesn't even work on me that well in the theaters. The only thing I'm wondering is the nausea factor. I mean, maybe...
Yeah, and there's that, too. It's been reported that people wearing these 3D glasses do get nauseous.
I mean, because there's nothing like watching a movie, then, next thing you want to do is have a reversal of fortune.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
All over your $5,000 TV.
Well, anyway, so, 3D TV, as far as I'm concerned, thumbs down. CES is going on right now, and I guess there's some announcements.
It's right now, this week?
I believe so.
I thought it was the week after next.
I thought it was this coming week.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think it starts Monday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's going to be some announcements. There have been some announcements already from both Apple and Microsoft. Of course, they will not be returning to CES.
Well, Apple, I don't think has been at CES.
No, they don't really have a presence there. Microsoft, of course, had a very large presence, but they have made the decision to go ahead and not be at CES in 2013.
And the other news is there's a 131-year-old company is trying to save itself from going out of business.
Oh.
You know what that is?
What?
Kodak.
Yeah, Kodak.
Kodak, who actually invented, according to the article, digital cameras in the 70s.
Right.
1975.
Yeah.
And they decided to stay which was probably a good bet, decided to stay on with film cameras.
Right.
So problem is they have 1,100 patents that they're trying to sell. I know Google bought some.
Right.
And they're trying to get if those fail, they're trying to get like $1 billion financial help to keep it afloat during bankruptcy.
Right.
The only problem is what exactly, if they get rid of their patents, depending on what it is it going to be like...
What's going to be left?
It's just going to be like Polaroid. At this point, it's a name only.
Right. Yeah, it may be. It may end up being that same way. I don't know.
Because I know Polaroid stuff is generally stuff I played with now is crap.
They brought a retro Polaroid back. I just saw
really?
One of the news articles. Yeah, was talking about the fact that you can once again take a Polaroid snapshot.
Do they have the flash bar? The one-time use flash bar? Or the multiple times?
I don't know. I just saw a picture of it. It just did a little more modern looking version of the old
That's funny.
unit was out there. So probably because they must be sitting on tons and tons of stock of that film, and they probably need a way of getting rid of it.
I bet they have. Yeah. I mean, it amazes me is the fact that the company invented digital cameras in 1975. When they first came out in the early 2000s, it was slow.
Right.
You imagine how slow it was in 1975?
Right. Well, I don't know if there were any consumer uses for those cameras.
Well, I mean, even if there were no consumer uses, you imagine how long it would take being in, your professional or whatever you're using industrial.
Right.
It took like a couple of seconds to take the photo. I bet you had to sit there forever.
Right, and obviously it had to be a static image because the shutter speeds were so slow. You couldn't do anything with them.
The thing that was amazing is part of the problem is they had some interesting. They had the company did really good. Everybody in the business got. I guess all the employees got bonuses and all that. There's 19,000 employees that they're wondering what's going to happen to.
Oh, wow. I hope something works out for them. I hate to see them go under.
And they were saying, which I never thought of, but I guess you could say they're the Microsoft or Apple or, of its generation.
Right. Well, what a shame. I mean, absolute shame.
I still wish they would do Kodachrome. I mean, I want to be a big market, but I still think there's a niche market for old-fashioned film photography, and I think that's the one thing they don't.
It's too bad that Kodak got away from that, but I think Fujifilm is producing their version of it now, and there's still some of those film buffs out there, and there's a lot of film cameras still out there. So,
and I think if they do it right, you could still charge a good amount of money for old-fashioned film, because it's just like LPs,
right?
Some people are going back to it because they realize it sounds better than a CD.
Yeah, and
there's a warmth there.
There's a different tonal quality.
Yeah, it's
from digital to vinyl,
like a CFL in an old incandescent light.
Yeah. Well, it's like some of the guys like the amplifiers that still use tubes.
Tubes, I still think sound better than solid state.
Yeah. Like I don't know. There's so few companies producing tubes anymore. I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep them alive.
Well, there's amp companies like Marshall Amps that a lot of professionals use. I mean, if you talk about major professional musicians, they're going to do it.
Right.
Because they're inspiring newer people to do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure it's a premium. I bet those tubes are expensive.
Oh, I bet they're not cheap.
No, they couldn't be. So.
And there's nothing like the hum of a tube.
Of a tube, the warm glow.
As you're being irradiated, slowly dying.
I don't know. Well, it's been kind of a crazy day here at Old Guy Tech TV. Sorry for my lousy reading of all those headlines that I wanted to bring to you, but I think they were important, and hopefully the message got out anyway. And so I want to thank you for going to Old Guy Tech TV. This is Rob Charney for John Charney. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Hi, this is Rob Charney with Old Guy Tech TV, and I want to talk to you today about Windfall. Windfall has 2 outstanding offers for you to take advantage of. They have their 12-week business-only ad for just $60. That's just $5 a week. You're not going to find a better deal anywhere. Windfall has a rewards program like no other, a real windfall. Give us 5 and your ad is free. So refer 5 people or businesses and you get your ad for free. Visit Windfall on the web at www.shopthewindfall.com or call 530-621-1698. Everybody needs a windfall. Thank you, Windfall. See you soon.